Welcome back to Montford Boulevard. We're just about finished with the 1920s Art Deco nightstand set here. We've detailed the carved wood drawer fronts, polished the original Bakelite, added custom backsplashes, and beautiful white oak veneer to the tray tops. But we think the sides could use some extra Art Deco flair. And to assist with that vision, we're seeking the help of robots. Not that kind of robot. Today we're using a laser cutter and engraver. Specifically, the CREALITY FALCON2, which comes with a powerful 40-watt laser. The folks at CREALITY were kind enough to send us this device, with permission to say whatever we want about the results. That speaks to their confidence in this product, so we're excited to test it out. We've hired people to laser cut Art Deco appliques for us in the past, so this is a very relevant machine to what we do. We hope to use this laser cutter to accomplish our goals today, but we'll also do a precision mode test and see what the limits are, so stick around for that. Alright, let's hop in. They included a thumb drive with videos to help with the setup process, and it was surprisingly easy to get going. It took less than 30 minutes. I've assembled IKEA furniture that was more complicated. And actually, I didn't even use the videos. The booklets were enough to figure it out. This was a bonus item they included, which helps contain smoke, and even drive it out through an exhaust. They also sent us an upgraded, larger honeycomb work surface, which really helps with the kind of products we want to create. The FALCON2 40-watt laser comes with a new air assist, which they say helps clean and cool the laser. It drives out dust and smoke, and supposedly minimizes burns in the wood, so we're interested to see how that works as well. Before getting started, I followed their steps to update the firmware on both the main unit and the laser. I couldn't figure out why this thing wouldn't turn on at first, and then realized, oh, there's an emergency stop button. Next, I connected my computer and followed their steps for working with Lightburn. I imported the included device file, then followed instructions for setup. The laser works better in millimeters than inches, I'm assuming due to precision. I also had to enable the laser fire button, and that was about it. For our first test, I learned that you need to select absolute coordinates off to the right to get the laser to go where you want it to. I then adjusted the laser power and speed according to the chart they included and turned off the air assist since I'm engraving. You only need the air when you're cutting. I'm now using this stepped measuring tool to get the laser the right distance from the surface. I'll then tighten the screws to keep the laser at that height. And if everything's set up properly, I'll click the frame button and the laser will give a demo of where it will do its work. That's looking just about right, so I'm going to go ahead and hit the start button. As expected, it's pretty smoky when this thing gets going. I have the flap open so I can see, but I am wearing the eye protection they included. So here are the results of our first test, and that looks pretty clean. For dropping in a logo that wasn't even designed for engraving, yeah, that's nice. So let's move on. Now we want to cut some Art Deco applique shapes for the sides of these nightstands. We'll convert from inches to millimeters once we've decided. Since we're going to be punching the design out of a piece of wood, the initial cuts here don't need to be precise, but we do want to include a margin. Back into the Lightburn application here. And a while ago, we purchased a collection of Art Deco design files on Etsy. They're SVG files, which you can manipulate, stretch, etc. without losing quality, aka vector-based. Some nice options here, but we settled on this one. You can see right away, the dotted lines indicate where cuts will take place. So this works really nicely. I'll stretch the image to the measurements we decided on. That looks good. And this is the chart they included for recommended settings for both engraving and cutting. I'm not sure what kind of wood this is, but it's about 3 millimeters thick. Between 2 and 5 millimeters for sure. Looks like we should set the laser power at 100% regardless. And for the speed, somewhere between 700 and 1000 millimeters per minute. So we'll go with 800 and see if that's good. They gave us the option of adding the exhaust on either side, and we actually decided to change it from where we had it. And this fan does draw out smoke. We ran the hose to a built-in exhaust in our shop, so that worked out well. Now we'll drop in the first piece of wood we cut, then use the frame option to preview the work area. I'll also properly adjust the height of the laser like before. Now I'm plugging in the exhaust fan, and it turns right on. With that, we're ready to close this thing up and prepare for our first serious laser cut. This is exciting. Okay, I'm hitting the start button and we're off. It's looking very clean, and the slight bow in the wood doesn't seem to be causing any problems. You can see the cut pieces dropping down there. We wanted a better look, so we opened the tent, and yeah, you definitely want good ventilation for these cuts. It was working very well when we had it closed though. You can see how the smoke is drawn through the exhaust. This pattern took about 9 minutes to cut, and we're ready to look and see how it turned out. Wow. I'm first going to remove the outer frame, which we don't need. And here's our design with all the fine details. Even the pieces that were punched out look like art. I don't get how they can stay in place with the powerful air assist turned on. Taking it over to see how it looks. And the measurements are perfect. We were going to sand the edges, but realized the cuts were so smooth they don't need much. And virtually no burn marks on the surface. Wow. Before we move on, we wanted to try something here. This is a piece of veneer, maybe just 1mm thick. The Falcon 2 has a precise mode, which uses a 20-watt finer laser. And we want to see just how precise it is. Back to the same Art Deco design collection, and we think this would be a good one to test the machine's limits. I'm also going to cut it small to make the precision demands even higher. I didn't see parameters for cutting wood this thin, so I decided to move the speed up to 800 millimeters per minute. I then physically switched the laser from normal mode to precise mode by holding the button down. Let it do its thing. And look at these results. We could hardly believe it. You can find demos of people cutting 3/4 inch wood with this device, but we had no idea it could cut wood this precisely. I was actually concerned that we were burning up the wood, so I stopped the first pass. And look at this. Absolutely no scorch marks on the front or back. I just don't know how that's possible. I'm sure it's due to the air assist technology, but how that can work without moving such a thin piece of wood while making such precise cuts is beyond my understanding. Now we're coming up with ideas for everything we could do with this machine, even intricate stencils. That's all we need the laser for today, but you can find it below, including a discount code. Okay, time to finish our nightstand set, and we'll pre-drill holes for the solid brass escutcheon pins. Now we're coating our appliques with our favorite gold lacquer aerosol, Mohawk brand. Adding a little Titebond 2 to the backs for extra support. And we'll pound in the pins, which we actually clipped shorter to make sure they wouldn't go through too far. And with that, this nightstand set is ready for her close-up. We were so thrilled with the way these appliques turned out. We even liked them better than the ones we hired somebody to make. Thank you, CREALITY, for this incredible device. Now we're thinking of all the possibilities for upcoming projects that we can make together. As always, we list our finished furniture products in our store. We included the option to display this one with plain sides as well. The timing was perfect to receive this Falcon 2 40-watt laser. We've included a link to this device below with a nice discount code. Thanks so much for stopping by for another Art Deco furniture restoration remake. Here are a couple more videos you might like. You're welcome back here at Montford Boulevard anytime.